Brooks Koepka has been the standout player in world golf this year. After he successfully defended his US Open crown at Shinnecock Hills in June, he won his third major in 2 seasons at the PGA Championship 2 months later. He's entered a completely new stratosphere, but before hitting the big time, he grew up playing golf the good old-fashioned way.
I played with my family, my dad and my brother. It was kind of one of those things we go out on the weekend and it was kind of like a family activity. That's kind of what it was. And, you know, I think probably by about 10, 12 maybe, you know, you kind of figure out you love it. You figure out you're good at it. And it's something, you know, I love to compete. And anytime you can compete, it's always fun. You go through your lows and you go through your highs and you just got to stay very patient because, you know, sometimes golf doesn't give you very much. You can be working your tail off and you get no results. It's very hard to win. You look at other sports, you know, you either win the game and lose it, and in golf, you lose it probably 99% of the time. And, you know, second sometimes just isn't quite good enough. And it's one of those things where, you know, you get very few wins and you get very few opportunities to win. And when you do, you really want to turn those into W's.
Koepka's ratio of major wins to regular tour victories is unusually stacked towards the 4 headline events. His coach, who also guided Dustin Johnson to his first major in 2016, was a huge support as Brooks made his major breakthrough last year.
I was constantly in the back of my head listening to my father saying, don't mess this up. Because I think sometimes, you know, there are weeks where you just kind of need to get out of the way. And, you know, DJ had won the US Open the year before, and that week, you know, that whole week he was just kind of different. I was, you know, lucky enough to be on Ernie's team when he won it at Lytham and won the Open Championship in 2012. And he was different that week. Somehow they show up in a different frame of mind, and a lot of it is they have a calmness about them all week. I can't really explain it, and I've been trying to over the last year to try and figure out what it is that's different. But, you know, Brooks was just different. He came in with a lot of confidence. He got off to a fantastic start. It was a golf course that he liked. You know, it's funny, I said the exact same thing on Monday after Brooks's practice round that I said the year before with DJ. I was talking to my dad and I was saying, if he doesn't have a chance to win this week, I give up. I don't know what playing good is, because he was hitting it so good. And I just had a feeling that if he could go out and stay aggressive and play the way he normally does and not try and play the way that he thinks he needs to win a major championship. Because I think we see that a lot. Because I think it's so difficult to win these major championships that you feel like sometimes as a player you've got to try and do all the right things and try and play a specific way. And I think Brooks was a great example. He just did what he did. You know, he hammered the golf course with his driver, took advantage of it. And the last thing I told him was just go out, stay aggressive. If you play aggressive today, you're going to be tough to beat.
Brooks equaled the US Open's lowest winning score that week, finishing at 16 under par. A Sky Sports golf analyst, Andrew Coulthard, witnessed firsthand as Koepka fired his way to victory at Erin Hills. His calm demeanour and stable swing were key.
He's hugely powerful, obviously incredibly talented. Hits the ball an awful long way, but rather than trying to tear the golf course apart with this power, he was pretty measured as well. Yes, he was swinging well. Mentally, he was in a very good place. He put the ball in play off the tee, and when he was in the fairways, he found the middle of the greens. And the confidence that just gave him when everybody else was pushing, everybody else was trying too hard and dropping shots, he was very relaxed, very comfortable, in effect in the zone, as we say. And that was enough to go ahead and make him US Open champion. It was a very impressive performance. It is very much a sort of bowed left wrist, that way, not that way, it's that way. The club face is pointing way at the sky. This used to cause all kinds of problems, big hooks and massive pushes. Koepka's actually left arm is almost kind of bowed that way, but they just release it and they sort of hold it off and manage to actually hit an incredible controlled fade from that position. Normally you'd expect to see guys that hit a massive big hook, but Dustin and Koepka, they both hit wonderful fade.
Between the 2017 US Open and his extraordinary success in 2018, Koepka had to endure a battle with form and fitness, but it's fair to say he bounced back in style.
It's been one of those things where you go through your spells. Everybody's got a tough time. You know, to be honest with you, I thought this year, in the beginning of the year, first maybe 2-3 months, I was working real hard and wasn't getting any results, and was very frustrated and didn't really want to play golf. You know, it's tough to focus on the golf course, and everybody goes through those. You know, if they say they don't, they're lying. It's tough. It's a tough mental game, and you know, and the other thing is you play all year, so you never really quite get a break, and you got to try to find ways to relax off the golf course. It doesn't matter how well it's going or how poorly it's going. It's always going to turn around. It doesn't matter, you know, one lucky break or one good golf swing could turn your year or a couple of weeks in a row, and then could turn them around.